Hi, everyone. Welcome to today's first episode of our Phishing Response FAQ video series. Today, we will be covering the value of phishing response services and then talking about managing phishing beyond awareness trainings and email gateways. My name is Gracie Bell Smith, Product Marketing Manager here at Binary Defense, and I am so excited to get to walk you through phishing response at a high level. But let's start off with the challenges and the problem. So 90% of data breaches begin with phishing, whether that's business email compromise, ransomware, supply chain threats. All of those continue to compromise organizations despite their existing security solutions. If you're an organization out there, I'm sure this next stat is no surprise to you because just based on this high percentage, it seems like a lot of organizations are struggling with this. And so 95% of security leaders say they're stressed about email security. So if we think about it, security professionals are wearing many hats. Usually they're resource strapped. They've got competing priorities. They're trying to improve their security posture. And the one thing that constantly is looming over them is that abuse mailbox. And every day it increases, it doesn't stop because email threats get more sophisticated every year. These percentages clearly show that these phishing attempts are making it past your secure email gateways and into your users' inboxes. What is a phishing response service? Again, at a very high level, phishing response has two parts. On one side, you have the investigation component. So that's that full scope, documented investigation of user submitted emails and phishing alerts generated by third-party email security tools. So those email security tools, whether it's KnowBe4, Proofpoint, all of those tools, and even if your organization is a little bit more mature with a SIM, which is better to catch those phishing attempts even after they make it past those email security tools and your users. On the other side of things, we've got the response component, which is the most crucial component. You have the ongoing tuning that needs to occur to stay up to date with trends. You have the detections that once an email does get through the email security tool gateway to the user clicks on it, you have those detections to catch that malware within your system as your last line of defense. Finally, the mitigation and remediation recommendations based on the investigation's findings. And so those are very important to ensure you're, again, tuning those detections, creating new detections, updating security awareness trainings, updating your filters within your security email tools. You're doing all those things as a follow-up to the findings within the user submitted email or alert. I already kind of hit on this a little bit, but question two, we send out regular security awareness trainings and have email security and tools in place. Why do we need a phishing response service? Organizations that leverage a phishing response service can detect and mitigate cyber attacks earlier in the attack lifecycle, preventing financial or reputational damage to their company. I've highlighted it here in orange. Detect and mitigate cyber attacks earlier in the attack lifecycle. So we want to catch these threats before they even reach our users because we know they're targeting our highest risk users and there's a high potential they're going to get through and then end up as that 90% that turn into those breaches. So I just hit on that reduce risk of malicious emails reaching your users, reduce the mean time to respond when malicious emails do reach your users. So this just has to do with, again, limited resources. If an organization doesn't have the manpower to get to these as quickly as they need to and respond, that can ultimately lead to that breach. Improve security posture with continual updated detections and security control recommendations. Improving security posture with continual updated detections and security control recommendations, and gaining a proactive security strategy through intelligence correlation and hunting operations. So this last one, I'll kind of explain that in the next question because that truly is that specialty, that expertise that phishing response service brings in, those phishing analysts. This is all that they do. And they don't just investigate one phishing email. in a silo. They hunt through your environment. So if it is a campaign that targets multiple high-risk users and only one person submitted it, we're going to go and we're going to find all the users who may not have even seen the email yet or clicked on it, or it's still sitting in their inbox. And we'll go and do that full scope investigation and ensure we're hunting every malicious email that's associated with that original email, whether it was through alert or by that user submitted email. How does Phishing Response Service add value to your existing tools and serve as an extension of your team? So we've got 3 benefits here. And number 1, it's going to be that phishing expertise. These phishing experts, they're dedicated. They identify the tactics, techniques, and procedures leveraged in the attempted attack, and then they thoroughly document their investigations, processes, and findings. So your team may not have the time to do this, and these experts are dedicated to ensuring you have everything documented for future purposes as they do that full scope investigation. And then they have these tactical and strategic recommendations that these analysts will provide you and give you that remediation guidance to mature your security posture moving forward. Regular communications of metrics and trends. These phishing experts, they're gonna provide reporting on what's been occurring, how many BEC attacks have occurred, any whaling attacks, who's being targeted, what phishing awareness trainings, what detections have been created, the mean time to respond, all of those things, so you can stay up to date on how your security posture is maturing. Then we have proven processes. So client data and alert flow are configured to allow dedicated analysts to act as an extension of your team. The security analyst ensuring that everything is getting into your SIM so that they can go into your SIM and do that full scope investigation, those hunts, all those things that take it a step further and don't just silo that one investigation. They find all of those phishing emails related to the attack and then bring those findings back to you. Tune detections and enhanced security control. So those are going to be based on the intelligence gathered from the investigations and the findings. This is super important because that goes back to maturing your security posture over time, as well as identifying the attack earlier in the life cycle to prevent it from getting to the user again. And then we have that continuous refining of the security awareness training programs based on incidents and emerging phishing trends. So those regular communication and metrics and trends that they're going to have with you, those are going to feed into those continuous refining of security awareness training, as well as those investigation findings will usually have a recommendation around what to enhance or change in that security awareness training program to ensure your users can identify these attacks that are targeting your organization or industry. And then finally, I've hit on this multiple times, those in-depth investigations. So you have those full scope investigations, phishing events in your environment, and then those are going to give you that actionable advice to build better detections and enhance your security controls, as well as those hunting packages that are generated based on the intelligence gathered to achieve a proactive security posture, and ultimately obtaining an efficient and scalable response when manpower and expertise is lacking. And that concludes the first episode in our Phishing Response FAQ series. Make sure to check out the rest of the series to learn more about Binary Defense's Phishing Response service.